every day from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name's Okumaringa Christine. Before we dive into any of the stories, let's first have a look at the news making headlines today. In the headlines tonight, General Salim Saleh expresses disappointment with Omoro district leaders for failure to constitute the local economic and investment committee. Police investigates double murders in Paida Town Council and Accra Sub-County. And the traditional dance was held to celebrate the late Abelia Kuyokuyonga funeral anniversary. This and more in the NILE CAST News Bulletin. It's the 10th of January 2024. You're most welcome to the NILE Cast only on West Nile Television. Now let us dive into some of the stories of the evening. The 7 days of ideological training of Omoro district local government leaders and technocrats ended prematurely as the district leaders failed to constitute the local economic and investment committee, a body charged with the responsibility of addressing the needs of the local investors. General Salim Saleh felt uncomfortable and disappointed to pass out over 500 Omoro district leaders and technocrats who had been undergoing the ideological training for the 7 days, as they would not be able to champion the fight against poverty. Stephen Okello from Gulu has more.
After displaying to General Salim Saleh the skill and knowledge that have been imparted to them during the 7 days in parade, the district leaders and the technocrats sings with joy as they display to the chief guests some of the rare knowledge they have acquired during the training. But later on, General Salim Saleh learned from Stephen Tumine, the Senior Development Officer, Minister of Local Government, something which did not please him.
The Local Economic Development Investment Committee, a governance structure that is going to promote aid and investment in Omoro District Local Government. They don't have, sir. They have given me up to 30 years of this month to submit to the permanent secretary, Minister of Local Government, that committee, sir.
According to General Saleh, Operation Well Creation alerted government in 2017 over the redundant government facility in all the districts across the country. Omoro district has 17 value addition machines, which only 6 working at 30%, and most of them is not working due to poor management. Olal Patrick Omona, commercial officer, Omoro district, explained this to General.
I must say that these facilities, the validation facilities, are not connected to the power grid. That's the major problem.
How much do you need to connect them?
Of course, that one needs now some other working. We don't, I cannot do that for now. But I have first to address my mind towards that, and then definitely that will be provided at a later date.
Speaking in disappointment to the leaders of Omoro, General Salim Saleh expressed his intention of not passing out the 500 people who, for the last 7 days, have been undergoing an ideological training at Northern Uganda Youth Development Center in Labora Sub-County.
Right now we should have something to go home with as Omoro, because we brought you UDC. UDC is the biggest investor in Northern Uganda. Right now, I think 60% of their portfolio is in Northern Uganda, in sugar, cassava, and other starches, I think. You have UIA there, you have not discussed the industrial park. You have microfinance support center, nobody is talking about the effective demand for microfinance. And then you are ending this big course with no action plan. And for me, I'm not used to passing out people just for the sake of passing them out.
After hours of interrogation, the district blamed the underutilization of the 17 value addition centers on power connectivities.
Beyond the investment centers, of course, we have major trading areas. For example, War Trading Center. So many promises have been made, but once you power that War Trading Center, there's a health center, there's a hospital, there's a school, there's a church, there's other facilities. When you proceed up to Malava, which is towards the end of the constituency, there are so many things that can be done once there's power there. So there are things that we can do. There are low-hanging fruits. Those two just need transformers. Put them down, there's power. But we've written letters. Well, it's actually frustrating to be a leader in this place. So it is my prayer.
However, according to Meme, the district has never written to them officially on the same note.
Meme, we are committed to supply the premises, but what we need is a communication from the local leaders or the district officials. As of now, we have not gotten any request from the district asking for power. As soon as we are given permission or request, we shall come on ground, do the scoping, do the costing, and we present the costing to the district. So we get that communication from the local authority. Thank you.
But the woman member of parliament for Moro district, Catherine Lamwara, admit the challenge and promised to get back to the drawing board as district leaders of Moro to rectify all those gaps.
I think we have already resolved as a district that we want to move forward. And we already know that we are a poor district. Our population is poor. 98% is on subsistence farming. I am glad with the recommendations and the directives that you've made here now. That is going to put us to some level that can help us move forward.
According to General Salim Saleh, 95% of farmers in Omoro district is operating under subsistence farming, and this put the district at the poor stage of production. Stephen Okello for West Nile Television, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories this evening. Police in Zombo district are investigating circumstances under which two people have been murdered on one day in Paida Town Council and Accra Sub-County respectively. Alfred Jawok has more.
Everest Oyenkeu, 37 years, resident of Alisithungu Paida Town Council, Zombo district, was murdered last night on allegation of stealing maize from the nearby garden, and his body was dumped along Nibola Stream, Paida Town Council, Zombo district. According to Colin Suting Chinyu, Chapaso Local Council Wanjupandika each cell, he was informed about this incident and later reported the matter to Paida police, who visited the scene and conveyed the body to Paida Center 3 for postmortem. Oting Chinyu suspects that the deceased could have been killed from DR Congo, as the body was dumped near the source of Uganda and DR Congo.
Anwang report sa para share mito bueno niya ya dune gumati mo ko ken madana mo bishili tolo ka shay tinga ni kongi rema binyu kunya dune gumati ken mo ba mo bin ko kaya no para share wanwang ni anda dune gumati mo ken ko da nyaade mo musu ka ver mo ne ngo ko ma de maginege ko no dune go ko ka jwa di tele mo ne ngo en na mo timere tim di wor en ko ne ma ko timere ma ko min do kira nyage me kwalo ini do kum mana chengi indi piro ngwende ene ngati marom eni temana ne kudika woni wa make kudiele wotere police maye kwalo diende urtenge mikonga mino wotere kudiele joy police edo ke wo do ngengo kana ngedo ke wo ado kana ne do ini ni kendi.
Similarly, another person identified as Reginald Oyenkeu, a student of Pachir Polytechnic in Panyango Sub-County, Pakwach District, a resident of Sena Village, Accra Sub-County, was also killed and burned inside his house by unknown people. Keta Openymongo, Area Local Council 1, Sena Village, Accra Sub-County said the deceased was seen on Tuesday at the Lot Market with his wife, whom they separated 1 year ago, and later he came home at 2 a.m., but unfortunately he was murdered and set ablaze in the house. The Area Local Council 3, Accra Sub-County, Brian Oromchan, told this reporter that they came to learn about the incident when some residents of the village alerted him on what had happened. He said the deceased was an instrumental citizen since he was pursuing his certificate in welding at Pachir Community Polytechnic.
My appeal to the community of Paka sub-county. I'm requesting them not to take the law in their hand, and then requesting them to be calm. We are together with them here for the suspect of that unknown person which has bandits this house together with the security personnel.
Meanwhile, Zombo District Criminal Investigation Officer, Assistant Superintendent of Police Collins Tayabwa, who visited the two scenes of crime, said investigations into the matter is going and no one has been arrested. He appealed for calmness among the relatives of the deceased as police intelligence officers are doing all what is possible to bring the suspects to book.
We come as a team, and all of us were experts, but we do not want to preempt the investigations because from here we still sit and we put our heads together. The real truth of the matter, the suspects, then we arrest suspects for prosecution. So at this time, we cannot tell you that so and so is a suspect. Investigation, we are sure that somebody was responsible for it. Somebody, don't take law into your hands. We are in the country which is organized. You have structures at the local level, LC, police is there, and other stakeholders. So we cannot work without you. We need you to give us any information regarding this matter.
The body of Regional UNKO was handed over to the relatives for burial since medical officer from Zeo Health Center 3 went and carried out post-mortem at the scene. This is the third murder cases registered in Zombo district since this year began.
This is there and other stakeholders. So we cannot work without you. We need you to give us any information regarding this matter.
The body of Regional UNKO was handed over to the relatives for burial since medical officer from Zeo Health Center 3 went and carried out post-mortem.
And more in our stories this evening. Clan leaders and members from Lulujo, Tara, Padurku and Pajama and many others have held a cultural gala to commemorate the funeral anniversary of the late Abelia Kulukuyonga, who was murdered when she was a wife of Ali Kenyi, one of the famous clan leaders back then in the past, 300 years ago. Usuta Yusuf has more.
The event, organized in Abele Village Media Sub-County in Koboko District, showed hundreds of people gathered to participate in the traditional music dance using cultural music equipments like drums, tail of cows, spears, among others. The leader of Paduku clan, Mr. Bayoga Malisi, who participated in the cultural gala, said, because of the lack of traditional ceremony being held to offer cultural prayer to commemorate life of their deceased grandmother who died over 200 years ago, it manifested into a traditional misfortune called nyoka that has caused the death of many people in this family. While addressing the importance of such cultural gatherings, Mr. Wasa Majid, the Pajama clan leader, said anything to do with mother must have to be addressed and prayed over it culturally for its positive effectiveness.
aya bado dollar kinje bado kinje bo ufetala aru bado faziki afe bado ungola tudre ba tudre dini bado ufetala ku febo bado ni munguzi rusi ure dabata kilo ani iteru bendeba udom da mani sadisi amad manu tu re de uto abieni ifila bazidi idi badi badi do ba luzie mungusi ani kwaza komako ifila idido idi badi le avudi piki mirivo bo fofe badone munguzi tutadala ni ndoriba.
Mr. Osman Draga, a Muslim leader and also subject of one of these clans that participated in the event, stated that religion has not come to destroy culture, but rather it is modernization which has made many people to abandon culture. He appealed to members of the public to reject stigmatization described as backwardness as far as culture is concerned.
But here I want to say that religion has not come to destroy culture. I have seen the modernization has destroyed our culture. Actually, our culture was best. The Bazungus or the colonization came, they found our culture. But now because of the modernization, now people have abandoned our culture. Yet our culture is the best. It's the best because we use it for addressing our issues, cultural issues. That's why you see people have come here, very many for this cultural activity. That's why we are doing this, we are recording this. We want our young children to watch. And I want to say this. It should not be taken up by modernization. Culture is culture. Every society has its own culture, and culture are unique. Don't say that when I follow culture, or maybe people look at you backward. No, culture, people use it in different ways. So my advice is we should not neglect our culture. We should not, because our culture can bring discipline, can bring unity, can bring people together, and you develop. And like here, there are many tribes that have come. Tribes from Koboko, tribes from Maracha, and it has united people. You see, now you see, it has united people.
Osuta Yusuf, National Television, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories this evening. President Museveni has asked the ADF fighters to surrender, or else they'll be put up. Or else the UPDF will continue its operations against them. The president was on Tuesday night addressing the country on operations against the ADF rebels, especially in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Uganda entered the Democratic Republic of Congo in 2021 after being allowed by the President of the Democratic Republic of Congo to carry out a joint operation with the Congolese Army, FARDC. Speaking on Tuesday at his country home in Rakitura, Museveni asked Ugandans to advise anyone they know that is linked to the ADF to surrender, or else they'll face consequences.